So this week's episode is going to be about this shake, rattle, and roll that Bob has been having actually since last summer. We left Deltaville and noticed a lot of shimmying and shaking and rattling and humming, and then the steering went out, and I didn't really want to get into it because I didn't really want to talk about how it happened, but it's time to talk about it. So basically, when a new engine gets installed, they use these shims to level it. Leveling shims. Well, the company that installed the engine used wooden shims. That engine weighs about 600 pounds, in or thereof. So it drops down on these little wooden blocks, and then you align the engine from there. So you put the shaft in, and then it goes all, oh God, that looked completely stupid. Okay, but I digress. So you put the shaft goes in, it comes out, and the little prop boop, 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 turns. Well, the first discovery, it's been a series of discoveries. The first discovery was the wooden shims. So we had to have those pulled out and replaced with metal shims. So we did that. The next discovery was the cutlass bearing. It needed to be replaced, even though it had been inspected. Well, that's what was on the bill. It shows that something was done with the cutlass bearing, but I couldn't quite figure out what that was. So, okay, so no big deal. We pulled the boat out. We had the cutlass bearing checked, and sure enough, it helped. Like, it's been chunks of like conflicting banjos playing all this different racket. It's been bothering me for months. Took it back out on a sea trial, put it under load, and we still had this wobble, which I have the video of because we've sort of narrowed it down to a wobble. Well, long story short, we pulled the boat out of the water, pulled the shaft. Yep. Shaft was bent. While we waited for Bob's appointment, I started cleaning out the transom locker. I started the transom locker project where I pull everything out of the transom locker that frankly has been there since I think we bought the boat for the most part. I think I just keep stuffing shit in there. The transom is basically a trunk for the boat. So we have a lot of junk in our trunk. And one of the things that we have is this thing called life sling. So it's a life sling and it's a man overboard device, right? You throw it into the water if somebody goes and has a rope attached and you pull them back. The problem is it's down in the transom locker because it doesn't have a bag. Now, normally, the life sling comes with a bag. Otherwise, they're expensive if you have to buy the whole thing, and it's practically brand new. It just doesn't have the bag, and the bag is cute and tidy, and it sits on the safety lines. So we're going to West Marine because rumor has it they have them, the bags at West Marine. We have this yellow part, right? But what we need, oh look, they do have them. The cute bag. So anyway, it will string up on the safety lines and, well, aside from being much more accessible, it will clear up space in the trunk transom locker. The trunk. Junk in the trunk. Okay, hold up. Dun. I spy. I'm gonna give you all an opportunity to be like, I spy. And then we're gonna talk about what you spy. What you think you spy. The boaters are gonna be like, I know what that is. I know what that is. Right into that corner. Right into that corner. And then I have an idea about the lid. I think that's unused storage. I think I can do something with it. I got an idea. Okay. Let's get into it. Here's the light sling cover. So let's see if it fits. Okay. So I opened it up. Look inside. It came with these two little plastic inserts. So that was way simpler than I thought it would be. And now we are in a life sling. Bob has a life sling. Whoop, whoop. Look, it's Thing. Hi, Thing. How are you, Thing? Thing wants to go, but Thing has no patience.
Oh, Thing, you poor naive appendage.
Thing, that's not polite. Put it back. Bye, Thing. Pay attention. Watch the wobble. It was time to take Bob over to the travel lift and figure out what's going on.
This is a maybe 2 or 3 degree change between the top and the bottom, but this is not an alignment, but it does end up.
I can't tell. See, before, if you look at this right here, this was sealed at one point. I mean, flat
Yes.
up against it, but you can see the paint build up right there, how it's flared.
Yeah.
It was flush probably before this was
Replaced.
replaced. So why is it not flush now?
Well,
Well, as much shaking and rattling is going on down there. Wouldn't that
I don't.
shake and
wouldn't
rattle it
move.
loose?
I did loosen up the shaft seal in there.
packing gland is loose.
Yeah, I loosened it up to make it a little easier to come through.
Was it
Yeah.
loose when you went in
No.
there?
No, I mean the nuts were jammed tight against each other, and I did have to use a wrench to back it off a little bit.
So it's weird that it's leaking that much still.
Not necessarily.
That doesn't
I mean,
mean that the packing gland was tight. I mean, this means that the lock nut and the packing
Okay.
gland nut were locked
Yeah.
together.
Duly noted.
'cause you've got a flax packing underneath of there it's just basically hemp yarn with wax on it.
Okay.
And as you tighten it, there's like a V-shaped groove that the nut presses it into to pull it tighter on the shaft.
Okay.
And over time with the shaft spinning and stuff like that, it'll wear down that wax and just make it so you're going to have to tighten it up, and every so often you're going to have to actually replace it.
Okay. Well, maybe when we get all this done, maybe we should just replace it. So
we do have,
material.
yeah, we've got plenty of material depending on the size.
1.5 inches.
We might just do that if we get this figured out, because it's been pressed on by so many different alignment problems. I don't know if that makes a difference.
No, I mean, that'll help it wear out quicker anyways.
Well, maybe that happened, even though it has very little hours on it. Mike here is pulling out the shaft. The big question of the day, dun dun dun, is it bent?
God, that is not easy.
I couldn't even turn that. To give you guys any idea of how tight this is and how strong Mike is, I could not turn it. There we go.
morning,
pull
girly.
it out on time.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, I can see it's bent.
Is it bent?
I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, just looking at it, I don't.
surface.
We've got a bench in there that we can lay it on, and if we have any questions, we can send it off to our.
High-tech guys.
Yeah, we have a metal shop that fabricates and fixes all their shafts for us.
Okay, so the next
Right.
step is to take it in and see what
See
the
if
deal
it's-
is.
Yeah.
See if it wobbles on the
See if
table.
it's.
I'm gonna pull it back because there's some machinists on my page that are gonna be like, so I see. What do you guys think? I don't know because I can't tell through the camera, but I actually see something in the middle. This is basically how it works. While Bob got shaft surgery, we went exploring Norfolk. And then Boatyard called and said Bob's ready. And the question is, did straightening the shaft stop the final shudder? We also replaced the stuffing box. Apparently the stuffing in the stuffing box was dry, which is a little weird because it's not very old and there's not that much use of wear and tear on this engine. Very little, actually. So, ding, ding, ding. Here we go for round 3.
We take our time with the topping lift up before we.
You pull it one lap, it's fine.
Okay.
A few moments later.
I didn't get the video of the shaft and the stuffing box until we got back to the dock, but it's fixed and it didn't move at all. And some of you really smart guys are going to be like, there's a video clip but the shaft's not moving, so I decided to put it out there. So I just finished this week's episode and I wanted to add just a couple of things really quickly. What I'm actually really excited about is the Indianapolis Boat Show. And my friend Tom Sayers, Tom, that's you, is bringing some friends and some crew for his boat, which is named Stardust. Stardust is beautiful, by the way, you guys. Stardust is a Transworld, just like Bob. And Tom is also a YouTuber, extremely informative, And his channel is Stardust and Golden. Please check it out. He's going to be joining us at the boat show. So we're going to do some powwowing. We're going to do some YouTube powwowing and some Transworld powwowing. And hopefully we can get Bob up there in a slip near the boat show. Bob's not ready to be entered into the boat show. We still have work to do. Woodworking, paint the cabin top, and paint the hull. So, anywho, that's about it. I just wanted to fill you in on some of the things that are going on coming up, and hopefully it won't take me a month to get out another video. I got a lot going on at home, though. We're cleaning up. I'm going to start videoing stuff at home, too, because this channel is named Saddles and Sales, but to be quite honest, I never do any of the saddle stuff. I mean, I got horse friends that watch the show that ask about Bob. They never really know what we do at the barn. Heavy equipment and logging and arenas and blah, 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 blah. All kinds of stuff. So I'm going to start videoing that. And I got a GoPro. But me and the GoPro don't get along just yet. So peace out, y'all. Have a good night. And hopefully it will not be a month before I see you again. Bye.